Call on Government Order of the Day, number 7, sorry.
Non-bank deposit takers bill, committee stage.
I declare the House in committee for consideration of the non-bank deposit takers bill. Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker. It's going to be taken as one part. Yeah. Members, the House in committee on the non-bank deposit takers bill. Point of order to McIndoe.
I seek leave for the committee to take the parts, schedules and clauses of the non-bank deposit takers bill as one question.
Leave is sought for that purpose. Is there any objection? There is no objection. The question then is that Part 1, Parts 1 to 4, Schedules 1 to 3 and Clauses 1 and 2 stand part. Which David? The Honourable David Parker.
Mr. Chairman, the question I would like to ask the Minister and the Chair is the impact of this non-bank deposit takers bills on credit unions. Mr. Chairman, this bill makes changes to the prudential requirements that are imposed by the Reserve Bank and extends these measures to non-bank deposit takers. So these are people that take money on deposit from New Zealanders who are investing to get an interest return and aren't a bank, because the banks are already covered by the prudential requirements that are managed by the Reserve Bank on behalf of the government. My question to the Minister is whether the extension of the new measures to non-bank deposit takers is applying to credit unions and whether that is wise. We heard from credit unions at Select Committee that they are concerned at their overall level of regulation. Credit unions generally take small amounts of deposit from New Zealanders. They lend it on small amounts of loans, generally in consumer finance area. And they're concerned that the measures of this bill not overly tie them up in red tape, given that they're not really posing a great risk to the New Zealand financial institutions overall, because they're such a small part of the overall financial services sector, and they don't want to be tied up in unnecessary regulation which causes them more trouble. There are a number of things that need to be fixed for credit unions that aren't addressed by this bill, and if I might just mention them very briefly. One is that they need to be able to, rather than have two trustees, they effectively have to have a statutory trustee and then another trustee that holds investments in their name or on their behalf, because they can't hold the investments in the name of the credit union, because the credit union isn't a legal purpose for banking purposes. That's not fixed by this bill. They're currently restricted from lending to non-real people, so despite the fact that a lot of people who used to be employed, for example, by the post office are now a tied contractor through a small corporate entity that might provide services to, say, Chorus, that any loan that was made, for example, to such a small company for a vehicle couldn't be made by a credit union if it was being made to a corporate entity. Those sorts of things also need to be tidied up. Mr. Speaker, I just would like to hear from the Minister as to whether that angle, whether he has a view on that.
Mr. Chair.
David.